carpentry store. This chap who took him in is another Sito, who's supposed to be very distantly related. He happened to be a martial art nuts, the chap who took him in. And one of the things he insisted on was all his apprentices who work in the shop must have a couple of hours every night practicing martial arts. Because I'm the only serious student, because the others have home to go back to.
Yeah.
But I don't. I have to, I'm the only one left in the store at night. We sleep in the store and everything, you know. In fact, they say my favorite bed is a coffin, because the carpenter store also makes coffins. They say it's the nicest and the most cozy. But anyway, he was. That is why he said I had to be good. So he really trained himself, really paid attention, and got to be very good at martial arts.
Now, and who is this? Your father?
My father. Yeah. That she was asking.
Yeah.
That is why, and that is why we in turn, when we grow up, every night he would train us for an hour. So I at least have quite a basic grounding in martial arts.
That's a great story.
Yeah. No, it's not.
So what
It
happened
got to
his,
the point, and then one day he took revenge on the couple of big fellas who used to bully him. he pounded them.
What happened to his parents?
My grandfather was supposed to have emigrated somewhere in North America, but never returned. He perhaps didn't make his fortune. Actually, Clarence did a search, and my grandfather's name, and they found out the Canadian Immigration Office has a record of him landing in Victoria.
Yeah.
But after Victoria, so when he didn't return, my grandmother, I don't know, one story is she married, another story was she died young. We don't really know what happened. So that's how, when my grandfather left China to emigrate to North America, he was only 3 years old. But when my grandmother either left or died, he was only 11, 12 or 13. So he was left on his own, or practically on his own.
And there was only the one child.
Yeah.
Because the father had left, I guess.
No, I think he had a sister.
He had a sister. But the sister got married and left for Hong Kong. And perhaps she didn't marry yet rich either. So I don't think she had the resources to look after him, even if she wanted to. So that's why I was good, because nobody else would look after me. He was short, and my dad was about 5'2", and but when he was in Singapore, when he was still in his bachelor days, he visited the museum, Singapore Museum, you know. It's still there, the museum, with a very good friend of his, who became later on our neighbor. And he was looking around, enjoying that exhibit, and two big Sikh fellows, Indian Sikhs, both of them over 6 feet. They came and looked at these two Chinese youngsters. They decided to try to bully them. But they both happened to be very, very good masters of martial arts, not the average joker. And both of them got into a fight with these two Sikhs. And these two short Chinese threw the Sikhs out of the window and landed on the ground outside. And the police was called, and they appeared before the judge either the next day or the judge looked at them. These two chaps are barely 5'2", 5'3", and these two Sikhs were 6 foot. He said, case dismissed. The judge dismissed it immediately. against this man. Well, how could these two short bully these two big? He was quite amused by that.
Same story as Linda's dad, Linda Whitehead's dad. Small guy.
Linda's dad, he was in his early 70s, and he was in a turning lane, and he didn't turn fast enough for the fellow that was in the car behind. So the fellow in the car behind, the young guy, 6'8", less than half his age, and he's yelling at Eric, and he's waving his fist, and Eric just, and he said, no, you come out here. And so Eric says, no, you don't want me to come out. Come on, are you chicken? So Eric gets out and goes,
Knocks him out.
knocks him cold, and then he has to wait around for the police to come. And the police are, well, what happened here? He said, well, he asked me for a fight, so I knocked him out. He was a lightweight box champion.
Yeah.
And,
In his 20s.
and so Eric got in trouble.
He got charged with assault.
He got charged with assault. He said, how can you charge me? He was attacking me. I guess the guy must have taken a swing.
But then, so how did Papa learn martial arts?
I don't know. I even actually met his Sifu. The Sifu was a very, very handsome fellow. Yeah. But he was, during the occupation, somehow or other he sort of got too friendly with the Japanese occupation forces. And after the war, the people gang up on him and beat him to death. Yeah. Even though he was a Kung Fu Sifu, but there were enough people to corner him and
Well, he must have really done something terrible for him to deserve not.
He was quite a handsome fellow too, but he was done to death by the people who hated him. They called him a collaborator. Yeah.
In 1976, two NASA spacecraft named Viking 1 and 2 became the